Social media use has become a pervasive part of our lives, especially for adolescents and young adults. But what are the effects of social media on our personality and well-being? In this section, we will explore how social media use can increase narcissism and reduce empathy among teens, leading to arrogance and ignorance. Narcissism is a personality trait characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Both narcissism and empathy are important factors for social connectedness and well-being. Several studies have shown that social media use can influence narcissism and empathy in different ways. For example, one study found that those who use social media more often are more likely to exhibit narcissistic behavior. Another study found that social media use is negatively correlated with self-report and performance measures of empathy, particularly cognitive empathy, which is the ability to take the perspective of others. A third study found that social media use is positively correlated with alexithymia, which is the difficulty in identifying and expressing emotions. How can we explain these findings? One possible mechanism is that social media use can create a two-way mirror for narcissistic adolescents. On one hand, social media can serve as a platform for self-promotion and validation, where teens can post selfies, boast about their achievements, and seek likes and comments from their followers. On the other hand, social media can also serve as a source of comparison and envy, where teens can see the curated and idealized images of their peers, celebrities, and influencers, and feel inadequate or inferior. This two-way mirror can have negative consequences for narcissism and empathy. On one hand, it can reinforce the narcissistic tendencies of teens who already have high self-esteem and low empathy, making them more arrogant and ignorant of others' feelings. On the other hand, it can also undermine the self-esteem and empathy of teens who already have low self-esteem and high empathy, making them more insecure and isolated. Therefore, social media use can create a vicious cycle of narcissism and empathy among teens, depending on their personality traits and motivations. This cycle can affect their social connectedness and well-being, as well as their attitudes and behaviors towards others. In conclusion, social media use can have both positive and negative effects on teens' personality and well-being. However, some effects are more harmful than others, such as the increase in narcissism and the decrease in empathy among teens who use social media excessively or inappropriately. These effects can lead to arrogance and ignorance, which are detrimental for themselves and for society. Therefore, it is important to raise awareness about the potential risks of social media use among teens, and to promote healthy and responsible digital citizenship. Social media is a powerful tool that can connect people from different backgrounds, cultures, and opinions. It can also expose teens to different perspectives and situations that could challenge their moral values and judgments. But how does social media affect the moral development of young teens? And what are the risks and benefits of using social media for learning and growing? According to a survey by the Jubilee Centre for Character and Virtues at Birmingham University, most parents in the UK believe that social media hinders or undermines moral development in their children. They are concerned that social media exposes teens to negative traits such as anger, hostility, arrogance, ignorance, bad judgment, hatred, and vanity. They also think that social media lacks positive character strengths such as forgiveness, self-control, honesty, fairness, and humility. However, some researchers suggest that social media can also have positive effects on teens' moral development. For example, social media can provide teens with valuable support, especially those who experience exclusion or have disabilities or chronic illnesses. Social media can also expose teens to current events, diverse viewpoints, and healthy behaviors. Moreover, social media can promote positive character strengths such as humor, appreciation of beauty, creativity, love, and courage. The impact of social media on teens' moral development may depend on how they use it and how much they use it. Some studies have found that using social media excessively or passively can lead to mental health problems, such as depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. These problems can affect teens' moral reasoning and decision making. On the other hand, using social media actively or moderately can enhance teens' well-being and social skills. These skills can help teens cope with moral dilemmas and conflicts. Therefore, it is important for teens to be aware of the potential harms and benefits of social media on their moral development. They should also be guided by their parents, teachers, and peers on how to use social media responsibly and ethically. By doing so, they can learn to develop their own moral values and judgments based on critical thinking and empathy. Social media can be a double-edged sword when it comes to moral values. On one hand, it can expose young teens to harmful content that promotes arrogance and ignorance, such as cyberbullying, fake news, hate speech, and narcissism. On the other hand, it can also be a source of positive moral messages and influences, such as humor, kindness, creativity, and courage. Humor is one of the most common and popular forms of expression on social media. It can help young teens cope with stress, bond with others, and enjoy life. Humor can also convey moral values, such as honesty, fairness, humility, and compassion. For example, some comedians use satire to criticize social injustices and raise awareness about important issues. Some memes use irony to poke fun at human flaws and encourage self-reflection. Some jokes use exaggeration to highlight absurdities and challenge stereotypes. Kindness is another moral value that can be fostered by social media. It can inspire young teens to be more empathetic, generous, and helpful towards others. Kindness can also create a positive feedback loop, where one act of kindness leads to another, creating a ripple effect of goodness. For example, some social media users share stories of kindness that they witnessed or experienced, motivating others to do the same. Some social media users participate in campaigns or challenges that involve doing random acts of kindness for strangers or friends. Some social media users express gratitude or appreciation for others who have made a difference in their lives. Creativity is a moral value that can be enhanced by social media. It can stimulate young teens to be more curious, imaginative, and original in their thinking and actions. Creativity can also enrich young teens' lives by providing them with opportunities to learn new skills, explore new interests, and express themselves in various ways. For example, some social media platforms allow young teens to create and share their own content, such as videos, music, art, or podcasts. Some social media platforms enable young teens to collaborate and co-create with others who share their passions or goals. Some social media platforms showcase young teens' talents and achievements and celebrate their diversity and uniqueness. Courage is a moral value that can be supported by social media. It can encourage young teens to be more confident, resilient, and brave in facing their fears and challenges. Courage can also empower young teens to stand up for what they believe in and make a positive change in the world. For example, some social media users share their personal stories of overcoming adversity or achieving success, inspiring others to do the same. Some social media users join movements or causes that they care about and advocate for them online and offline. Some social media users challenge themselves or others to step out of their comfort zones and try new things. In conclusion, social media can be a powerful tool for moral education if used wisely and responsibly. It can expose young teens to positive moral messages and influences that can shape their character and behavior for the better. However, it is also important for young teens to be critical and selective of the content they consume and produce on social media, as not everything they see or hear is true or good. It is also essential for young teens to balance their online activities with their offline ones, as real-life interactions and experiences are equally important for their moral development.